people, my name is Godzilla, and welcome to a very different style of review. Instead of going the sit behind the desk and talk slowly kind of concept, doing something a bit different, inspired by Jobby the Hong's Godzilla reviews, which I really do enjoy some of those, minus the swearing. But anyways, let's move right into it. Today's review is the Godzilla 2004 figure in the Bandai Action figure line. Now, before we get all over-edited nonsense type of stuff, this man was an early Christmas present. Thanks, Mom. And that's all I wanted to say. So yeah, he's an early Christmas present. But before we get into the figure, let's get into this box, cause this dude comes packaged in this really nice box. Up front and center, you can see Bandai Namco, Godzilla, Godzilla 2004, Godzilla action figurine, Articulate Godzilla, Bandai, 4 logos, blah blah blah, 54 render, the usual. On this side, you get a nice render of Godzilla from the 2004 movie Godzilla Final Wars, which is the best Godzilla movie ever. Fight me. And on the back, we can see there is a Mecha Godzilla 2002 in this line. Yeah, I didn't get him because I have the Bandai Movie Monster Series 1 in a storage unit. And on the side, Godzilla 2004, Godzilla action figurine, Articulate Godzilla. On the top, Godzilla. On the bottom, words. That's what that is. Words. Now for the actual figure. Let me say, first impressions on him are amazing. It isn't no SH Monster Arts, but it's better than Playmates, I'll give it that. He's got a fierce look on his face, although it screams Bandai Final Wars Godzilla more than the Godzilla from the actual movie. Although, it still screams that pretty dang well, I will admit that. And, oh boy, the articulation on him is... He is almost made entirely of ball joints. Very, very, very similar to an SH Monster Arts. But I don't own one, so I can't really do a proper comparison. But let's get into the articulation itself, shall we? He has jaw articulation, which is... As far as it goes, it's jaw articulation. It's still there. And as you will see later, if I can get this off. The jaw itself is on a ball joint, as you can see right there. And on the end of the jaw, there is a little ball right there. So we can just pop that right back in. That is way easier than getting it off. Also explains why this jaw can go You can get some pretty bizarre images with this fellow. And might I add, taking the jaw off this way is way easier than taking the jaw off when it's properly. It's still not an easy task by any means, but I would prefer it rather than... Anyways, blah blah blah, I spent too much time on this stupid jaw. The rest of his articulation, ball joints at the base of the neck, a hinge rotation at the arm, a hinge rotation, although very, very limited, at the elbow, and if you pop this off, it is actually a hinge ball joint combo for the hand. And for the big thunder legs, it's a ball joint at the top of it, and a hinge at the knee. Kind of a ratchety joint. and a ball joint at the foot with a pretty good pivot, actually. Very decent. Although I noticed on this leg there is a bit of plastic more here than on this leg. It makes it more limited on this, but why would you try to move his foot like this anyways? And if you tried to, it would just pop off. I also noticed that it is just like the hand, it is a hinge ball joint combo, which is very, very nice. And the final point of articulation, or the final three I'd say, the tail. There is not one, not two, but barely 3 ball joints at the tail. One at the base, one at the midsection, and one near the end. Although, I don't know if it's just my copy or not, but if on the midsection ball joint of the tail, if you go a bit deep into ball joint heaven, you might pop this off once or twice. Easy pop back in. At least it should be. Sometimes it'll have a nice snap, other times it won't. It is something I noticed, though. Now, for the painting and sculpting on this. Now, I gotta say, for something especially from Bandai, the sculpting and paint is okay, I guess. It's not bad at all, but it's not something that will blow you away. You see, the painting and sculpting on the teeth is really, really standard, except for the nails. On both the hands and feet, the nails have a weirdly, weirdly good paint application. Although I'll tell you what isn't nice. For some ungodly reason, Bandai had this really, really ugly and sloppy scheme when it came to the painting of the teeth. And the thing is, it's only on one side. This side is super noticeable, and on this side it's only with the fang, but even then it doesn't look as half bad as this. It's not a deal breaker for the figure, but it's probably the most disappointing thing you'll see. The eyes are another paint spot, and they're good. They're that reddish-orange tone that Final Wars had in the movie, and it's spot on. The final paint application I'll be talking about is the dorsal fins. Unlike some of the Bandai Movie Monster Series figures, the paint actually goes all the way to the tip of the tail, although it fades out quite a bit on certain light. And the sculpt itself is standard. Like I said earlier, it screams more Bandai Final Wars than just Final Wars. Although it's not bad at all. It gives a figure a unique style that still looks like the movie. And the last thing I'll be talking about, and also the reason I was trying to take the jaw off earlier, his accessory. If you can actually get the jaw off, the atomic breath piece is really, really dang good. It isn't accurate to the movie, but it isn't blatantly horrible. And the fact they included an atomic breath piece in a $25 figure, as opposed to a $100 figure, it just shows how much the SH Monster Arts line is going in its downfall. And let me tell you, getting this jaw piece off is much, much easier than any of the other ones. And it still retains that cursed aspect ratio. So, should you get this figure? If you're okay with the minor defects that I've mentioned, and you want something that's better than a Playmates, but not as expensive as a NECA or SH Monster Arts, this is definitely the figure and line for you. Of course, it's up to you, but I would definitely get this if you don't have it already. A solid 10 out of 10. Hey guys, I'm recording this after, but I just wanted to mention, hope you guys have some happy holidays, good New Year, have a good night. Shout out to all these awesome people that will also be linked in the description, and I'll see you all next time. Goji, out.